Okay, so I'll get started. If you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to stop me and ask the question. I'm sure other people probably have the same question. So I try to make these more conversation than me talking at you. So feel free to do that at any point. So basically, we're talking about raffles, door prizes, and contests. Most of these apply to social media. So um, we're going to go through what that means for social media, what you should and shouldn't be doing, what the repercussions would look like, that kind of thing. So, oh, geez, sorry. Okay, so all of these things here are things that people do quite frequently on social media, and a lot of marketers do them are not in the real estate industry, so they have less to worry about in terms of what could be considered an illegal lottery because we have, different rules we need to abide by being a realtor. So a lot of common things are leave a review for a chance to win, tag a friend who might want to buy or sell. Um, Under Wisconsin law, some of these can unintentionally become illegal lotteries or illegal fee splitting. So we're going to just break down what the WRA says and where agents tend to accidentally get into trouble with some of these. So the Wisconsin defines a lottery using three different components. One is consideration to enter. So like you have to do something specifically to enter, that there's a prize involved, and that a winner is determined by chance. Consideration is the one where most agents can get themselves into trouble. Most giveaways clearly include the last two, so a prize and a winner determined by chance. But the real issue is usually that there's some sort of consideration to enter. And that's where people kind of start getting themselves in trouble. So the like a post, share it with a friend, share it to your stories thing would be considered a consideration to enter. So again, consideration is anything that provides financial benefit to the promoter. So if these things are required to enter the drawing, the promotion could be viewed as a lottery. So you can't say you have to like my page, share the post, tag a person, write a review, because those are all considered consideration. What you can do is you can still ask the question, like, hey, tag a friend that might want to buy a house, but you can't say you like to win this prize, you have to do X, Y, and Z. Again, a lot of people do that, and it's effective, but as a real estate agent, we have to be more careful about how we're doing those things, especially because people on social media, it travels fast, so the wrong person sees it and you could get into some trouble. Um, so so anything considered consideration is something that increases marketing reach or credibility. And if those actions are required to enter the drawing, then it can be viewed as lottery.
I got a question.
Sure.
Um, if let's say you're like tag a friend for an extra chance to win, where does that kind of land?
That would be essentially the same idea because you're kind
Okay,
of passing along, you know, I think that's more of a gray area, but I would probably refrain from doing it just to be safe. You could just
sure.
say tag a friend simply and not say to be considered for the drawing. But again, I think that could be gray area, so I'd probably just not recommend doing it.
Okay.
Another thing that we see a lot of is asking for reviews for prizes. So like, hey, if you leave me a review, I'm gonna enter you into a drawing. Um, any Really any, even if you're not entering them into a drawing, even if you're paying them for a review. There is first the consideration concern that we've already spoken about, but the FTC regulates endorsements and testimonials. So if someone receives something of value for a review, the relationship needs to be disclosed to consumers so that they understand the context of the review. So You've probably noticed this when if you've like browsed Amazon reviews or something. There a lot of them will say this review was collected as part of a promotion or this product was gifted for an unbiased opinion. That's because it's regulated across the board, not just for us. So it's really important to be mindful if you're offering something for leaving a review. Either just don't do it or that person would need to disclose that they were given something in order to receive or to write the review. Um, I saw a question, but now I can't find it. Whoever put the question in there, could you give me a shout?
Yeah, it's me, Andrea.
Okay, hey, what is the
Can you
question?
hear
I
me?
can't.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's my connection or the Zoom.
Yep, I can hear
So
you.
what about like okay, so what about like doing like free ticketed raffle baskets for like marketing tables?
So if you are at so if you're at an event and everybody can apply like throw in
Yeah.
something to that is a completely different story.
Okay. All right, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. The other thing that we do run across is gifts or prizes for referrals. So again, this kind of is where, the tag a friend or, hey, I'll give you money if you refer me to somebody. You just need to be careful with that because that could be considered illegal fee splitting. In Wisconsin, the law limits referral compensation to licensed real estate brokers and salesperson only. So exchanging drawing entries for referral names could be viewed as illegal fee splitting. So again, it's best practice just to not do that, and not be at least doing it on social media, especially. So it's just one of those, even if kind of on the side, someone says, "Hey, here's this," and you want to offer them a gift card for doing so, that can be risky if it's found out in terms of being considered potentially illegal fee splitting. So the generally permissible guidelines are anything that's no purchase required. Everyone attending is eligible. So this is kind of what we just talked about. If you're at, some sort of fair or event or something, and you're saying, "Hey, everybody throw in a business card or whatever," that's different. They're not required to do anything to enter. They're all able to win. So it's not considered a lottery. It's just everyone in attendance has the same chance. Um, People can fill out a registration card to enter. The difference with that is that attending a location alone is not considered consideration. Um, and then the other thing, as I mentioned earlier, you can do is just simply say, tag a friend who might be looking to sell or buy. You can do that on any of your posts, or maybe a good place to do it is kind of a poll post where maybe it's something that people are interested in answering anyway, or might be kind of humorous where they would just automatically tag a friend. But you should not, again, offer anything for tagging said friend. Anyone have questions on any of this? Okay. So the main thing here is to ask yourself these few questions is if there's a prize offered, if the winner is determined by chance, and is the participant required to provide consideration. So the main thing is the consideration portion. Um, but especially if it's all three, it could be an illegal lottery. When It's mainly just to ask for guidance before you launch a promotion. So if you're thinking that you want to do something, you have an idea for it, I would just run it by the compliance hotline and just make sure that you're not crossing any of the lines, and that it can be done before you do it. Because this is not one of those ask for forgiveness, not permission situations.
If we do the tag your friend if they're interested in buying or selling a house on a post and we get all these tags, and we behind the scenes do a drawing, like put their names in the hat and say, hey, just send them whatever Starbucks gift card. Thanks for tagging your friend. I wanted you to have this as an appreciation thing where it's not announced that you're doing that. Is that okay?
In this context, I would have to say no, but I would say it's less risky because no one is really able to police that.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so I would be careful with any of that stuff that you do.
Gotcha.
So again, just like any of the deal defense stuff that we talk about, this is not about, you needing to like memorize all of these rules or all of the stuff. That's kind of what we're here for. It's just recognizing when something might create a risk for you and then knowing when to escalate it to, the compliance team or someone else. Um, so it's just slow down, confirm your structure before you throw it out there. That's all I got for you.
Thanks. Quick and easy.
Yeah, well, I don't like to muck it up too much, otherwise it gets confusing. So, but yeah, as always, just call the helpline anytime if you have questions. Any of this stuff, never feel like you can't ask because we'd much rather you ask than get yourself into hot water. So, all right. Well, thank you all for being here.